Hello everyone, I'm Shushei and I'm gonna give you some tips on how to win the lane from mid lane. So first of all, the thing that you need to really look up to is your creep score. Uh, it's really important to have a good CS and to have the more creeps than your opponent, because if, for example, opponent have 150 creeps and you have 50 creeps or 70 creeps, he's gonna have one item ahead of you, and then you just gonna, keep losing trades and keep being weaker in teamfights. He will keep doing more and stuff like that. So it's really important to look on how much creeps do you have and try to not miss any of them. Learn to last hit them at turret, learn to last hit them on lane, and yeah, try to force your opponents into a situation that he have problems to last hit. So how to train that? The simplest way is to go to custom game and play without runes and masteries. You can either choose the champion that you wanna train last hitting on, or choose the champion that's really hard to last hit with, like Cartus or Anivia, something like that, And then for 10 minutes, keep last hitting the creeps without using any spells. Uh, you can go to the, look up the League of Legends creeps spreadsheet or something like that, and you can compare your numbers to the number on the spreadsheet. The more you have, the better you are. If you can achieve like 90-95% of the creeps, you should not miss any creeps you can't uh, in the actual game. The other thing is roaming. When and why? Like, roaming is the strongest option to do when you're behind or ahead. Because, for example, if you are ahead and the opponent on mid lane is playing really safe, you cannot do stuff to him, then you just shove the lane and look for opportunities to roam or just invade enemy jungle. Then when you're behind, you try to look for a window that your opponent goes back, or your opponents roam the other way. Then for example, your opponent, when he's stronger, roams bot, then you try to roam top, or try to follow him and surprise them if they don't have wards. And if you can get a counter roam like that, it's gonna hurt them even if you're behind. Or you can just push the lane when he's roaming and try to come back. But usually following the roamer if you can and if you have vision, because if you don't have vision and he's gonna ambush you, you're just gonna fall more behind. So it's really a matter of getting to know when and where to roam. The other thing really important is map awareness. If you have high map awareness, your roaming is better, safer, and more fruitful. For example, if you know where enemy wards are, you can bypass them and walk around them and then gank not expect enemy that's not expecting you. On the other hand, if your map awareness is bad and you walk through ward, enemy can ambush you on your roam and counter gank you there, and you're just gonna go behind. Mm, Map awareness also helps you on mid lane when you're just last hitting creeps. If you know where jungler is, you can play more aggressive and poke more and stuff. If you don't know where an enemy jungler is, it's better to play safe. So yeah, that's it. Then the next thing that helps with the map awareness is actually good wards. If you have a good warding spot and you destroy enemy wards, then it helps your map awareness. Because if you can look on the map while playing and you have vision on the map, then you know exactly where enemy is and what they are up to, and you can take a counter measures to stop enemy from getting what they want. You can counter gank them, you can stop them doing Drake or Baron, you can gank them and push them and get more advantage like that. Uh, so next thing would be knowledge of the champion. If you have more knowledge of the champion, you automatically gonna perform better on that champion. If you have 5 games on Ziggs, you're gonna miss a lot of skill shots, not gonna be able to, you know, escape with W, you're not gonna be able to place your E correctly and people will just walk around this. You're not gonna be able to hit your ultimate because Zig's ultimate, if you throw it like close to yourself, it's gonna travel short time, and if you throw it at max range, it's gonna travel long time. So you need to know those things. And then if you have 100 games with Zig, so you're gonna know how to position your E and W to escape or go in. You're gonna be able to do W-Q combo if you're gonna chase someone, or you're gonna be able to instantly W away. You're gonna be able to hit more Qs, you're gonna be able to hit more ultimates and stuff like that. So knowledge of the champion is really important. If you wanna train a champion in ranked queue, remember you need to be prepared to get some losses, because even if you get fed, you know, you not gonna be as good as you would be if you had more games with that champion, or if you played a champion that you played more. Because if you are fed, of course you're gonna hurt and stuff, but then you're gonna miss more queues. Like I said, you're not gonna know how to behave in team fights to bring out your best. So yeah, knowing back your champion. Then mechanics, which is linked to it. Like the more you play the champion, the better your mechanics on the champion are. Also, the more you play the champion, the better the mechanics against that champion when you're playing against it are. That means dodging skills and hitting enemy skills, and hitting enemy with skills. Sorry. So there's few schools of dodging, and you need to mix all of them. For example, against Syndra, you rather make a one step forward than step behind when she's throwing Q at you, because that's the easiest way to dodge her most of the time. Then on against Zerat, it's better to sidestep, for example. You need to know how to dodge enemy to make him, you know, to make his skill shot easiest to dodge. Because Syndra's, for example, most of the time throw the Q slightly behind you, not on you, because they expect you to back. And then, okay, then the hitting the skills. If you know, you know, that takes a little bit of playing against other players. For example, you're playing this guy for fifth time, then you know his dodging patterns, then you can hit him more. But on the other hand, he can adapt. It's like slightly a minimum mind game, but if you know your skill shots and have good mechanics, you can throw your skill so it has a highest possibility of hitting enemy. Okay, that would be it for the strict mid tips, how to carry the game from mid. Now some overall tips that are gonna help you. There's two of them. So avoid flaming. When flaming, you make other players play worse and you make yourself play worse. Like if you flame too hard, your teammates might even go AFK, and 4v5 when you're behind, you're not gonna win. Or they can start trolling, or they can start not carrying, and you know everything will crumble. Try to motivate them instead and help them by roaming. If you help them and they get back into game, they get motivated, they get, you know, stronger, they play better usually. Of course they can get overconfident after coming back. That's why throwing is so often in solo queue, because people tend to make mistakes when they are ahead. They go greedy, they dive when they shouldn't, they don't take objectives, they focus on kills, for example. And you can look for mistakes of enemy and not at your own team. Of course, you should look at your own mistakes and try to not do them, but try to not flame. It's gonna help you, trust me. And then the next thing would be try to make a calls. If you make a call and it's successful, you're gonna get ahead. Try to learn how to make a good calls. For example, you see enemy jungler on top, enemy top lane on top without TP, and then you just kill bot lane. You're gonna do drag, that's like obvious call, but if no one calls it, you're not gonna go there. So yeah, stuff like that. Try to avoid, like, try to call your teammates back. For example, you know, you saw, because of your map awareness, you saw enemy 4-man ganking bottom on ward, but your bottom didn't realize to see that because they are fighting, for example. Then you ping them like crazy and they might just avoid the gank, so enemy will lose the time and you know, get ahead because you stayed mid and you pushed the lane, so enemy mid lane gonna lose a lot. On the other hand, if they don't go back, yeah, it's gonna end badly, but you at least you tried, right? And then your team wants to do Baron when there's 4 people in the top jungle of enemy. So that's not a good idea. Ping them back because first they can steal Baron. Second, if you get hit by Baron too much, they can kill you, and it's really big call. It's high risk, low reward. Like okay, you can get Baron, but there's higher possibility of you dying or enemy stealing Baron actually. So the Baron steals is usually 50-50. Okay, so that would be it for my tips for mid, and have a nice day and see ya guys. Bye bye.